We're back for week 2. Okay, so it's Saturday at 10 p.m. A little better of a time than 2:30 a.m. Boy, it was a long day today. Did all sorts of shit. Okay, let's get into this here. What's new? What's new? Second week, we had quizzes 3, 4. We also had our wayside signs test, and we started signals this week. One big thing that I heard before I came out here is the signal's hard. That's what I heard. I heard that signals is difficult. Well, the way they do signals nowadays, it's all multiple choice. And yeah, you got to study it for like, I don't know, 30 minutes. But if you're doing standard signals, they all make sense. You just learn the system. Okay. I got 100 on the practice test, and it's the exact same test. It's the same test. Yeah, so we got our signals test on Monday. We have test number 2, our final test, last test before going outside. We also had to do a timetable test where we got like these packets that's got multiple timetables on it. Or rather, it's got a timetable that has multiple subdivisions on it. Though my classmates didn't necessarily do great on it overall, I think the people who were strong in the class did fine on it. Like most of them, I would say. Same thing with like wayside signs. I think they like you have to pass it, but it doesn't affect your grade overall. Man, I'm gonna tell you, quiz 3 and 4 were harder for sure. I was cruising that first week, that first test. I got 100 on that test. I don't think I got to tell you guys that. I got 100 on that test on Monday. Quiz 3 was not too bad. I missed a question about a class 1 brake test. It so that quiz was on brake tests and maybe some speed stuff, but that might have been quiz 4. So class 1, class 3 transfer brake tests. They're all different. Transfer and class 1 are the closest. I think the only difference is the releasing of the handbrakes on all the cars. You don't care about the release unless it's a class 1, basically. But you do have to do the safety inspection for both. But anyway, the question I missed was before you do a roll-by inspection to make sure all the brakes have released on all the cars for the class 1 brake test, do you have to inspect both sides of the cars? And I answered no. Because in my head, I was thinking, well, it's a roll-by inspection. It's an inspection. It's in the name. So you're inspecting one side, which means you only have to inspect one other side. That's not how it works. So I ended up getting a 97 on quiz 3, which means I missed 1. And same thing for quiz 4. I got a 97 on quiz 4 as well. There's a lot of main track kind of stuff, authority stuff. Well, was that on quiz 4? I think that might have been just after quiz 4, so that's going to be on our test, but it wasn't necessarily on quiz 4. A lot of, contacting train dispatch over switching, electric operated switches, making sure to cycle the switch before you actually switch it. That way it stays switched and doesn't go back. We also got the speeds that we learned this week, which were restricted, limited, medium, slow. Pretty simple. Limited, 45. And then it goes on by 15. So you got your medium, slow, so that's 30 and 15. And then restricted is basically just a speed that permits stopping within half the range of vision, specifically looking out for broken rail. That's the only difference between restricted and 90% of other things that sound like restricted speed. So, let's see. Then we did, like I said, we did signals on Thursday. That was, a good chunk of the day. I think I did a 96 or so after looking at Conrail stuff for 15 minutes, right? You can, especially if you can understand standard signals pretty well, then Conrail only has 5 or 6 that are different. Like, it's really not that bad. There's a couple like small rules that you have to remember, and that's kind of it. Then recently I got 100 on the practice test, which is good because I actually hadn't got one until yesterday. Um, so that was my third or fourth attempt at that. Which you're once you get access to the signals test, you can just do it however long you want or how many times you want. So that's nice. Learning how to kind of navigate direct access better, using the iPad better. Something wrong with the Wi-Fi there. It's really not like in the iPads. Like anytime we try to take a test, half the class is like struggling because this iPad doesn't want to function. But if you go to our hotel, it's like instant. If you go to any other app, instant. So I don't know what it is. There's a storm going on outside. Actually, today was the first day where it hadn't been essentially sunny and 75, like we always joke about, right? It's always sunny and 75 on the railroad, but I mean, it's been between like 70 and 85 every day, and it's been sunny. So today was the first day where it was raining a little bit. It was raining a little bit. It wasn't bad. We had a cookout today, actually. One of our coworkers named Justin, he he was, willing to put a group together. We all went out to this like river nearby. He just cooked out in the back of his truck, made some delicious chicken. Oh my god, it was so good. I brought some like chips and a little bit of soda. I brought 2 loaves of French bread. That French bread was so good. I like a whole loaf of French bread today. I mean, like a whole loaf of French bread. Then, oh yeah, then we went to like an F1 simulator arcade. Man, that's kind of it, right? Like the second week we were kind of cruising. I've been saying it all week to my coworkers, like that shit flew by. Like it feels like I just got here. Um, like it really does. It really feels like I just got here. Now let's see. What was my day to day like? I did run some study groups, but we're having a drop in attendance. People are getting really comfortable with kind of what level of effort they need to put in. So you have people who are, they're performing in the mid 90s or low 90s, and they're like, you know what? If I don't have to do the extra work and still get that kind of 90%, that's good enough. And if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I'm not their parent. I don't care. For me, that's just not what I want to do. Like, tomorrow I'm gonna be writing notes, going over notes, and that's gonna happen before study group at 1. But if they just want to pass, they just want to pass, right? It's a job, right? Like that's what I said last week. Like some people just want a job, and that's totally fine. A lot of talk about finding other things to do, and that's fine. It's a job. I know it's a job. It's not a career for everybody. And I've mentioned like if I can find good opportunities in this line of work, I'll stay in this career. But right now, I'm focused on learning these rules, not getting fired. Trying to internalize as much of these rules as possible. Like I said, we're going outside next week in like 2 days. I'm gonna be on those training. The thunder started. I'm gonna be on those training, apparatuses, learn how to lace up air hoses properly. Um, you know, replacing a knuckle, like knocking off the brakes, stuff like that. Gonna be pretty cool. Get to actually physically do stuff, which is gonna be awesome. And also very nerve wracking because, they say it all the time like everything outside is an observation. They're always watching you outside. So you really want to make sure you're, dotting your I's, crossing your T's outside. What else? Same thing as last week. Like, I got home. I like relaxed. I went down to the pool one day this week. That was nice because there's never anybody in it. Went down there. It was cool. Study sessions. Went to Costco for the first time. That was cool, I guess. got a 90 pack of Welch's fruit snacks. And that's kind of it. I mean, like I said, the week really flew by. It felt like I didn't have time to do anything. I did spend like an hour and a half trying to find a pickleball or tennis facility, and that was on me. That was on me because a lot of those facilities didn't have any like open groups for any high level players at all, or even like intermediate to high level players. Yeah, second week we're cruising, man. Like, oh, our averages. That's what I wanted to talk about. A lot of the guys in the class are doing pretty good. Honestly, our classes. I think that's a lot of classes. Like a lot of classes, you'll be doing pretty overall pretty decent. We have a couple guys I'm worried about. You know, like if they don't do well on this next test, it's bye bye, right? Um, Once test 2 is over, you have to have at least an 84.5%. They'll round it up to 85, right? Um, One of the guys, he's not passing. He bombed this last quiz. He bombed the quiz before that. And I don't think he did well, particularly on first test. So he's got to get like a 95 or something, if I had to guess. And given his circumstances that I'm not going to share, that's unlikely. What else we got? We also got another guy or two that's like, doing okay for now, but they need to continue doing well to make sure that they get the right score. Like if they do poorly on this next test, it's gonna be the end of the road. And there's some people that are gonna get through this, and I know they're gonna get through it, and yeah, yeah. I mean, life's good. Life's good. Bed's still comfy. Pillows are still bopping. Bed's always nice and cool whenever I get into it. Be a concern, I guess, if it wasn't. Honestly, I think I put less work in this week as far as just note taking, but the rules are definitely harder. If that makes sense. Like, yes, I'm still scoring 97s, which is solid, right? But you can very well do better. The other thing is, like, with the other guys in the class, there's still two that have 100% in the class, which is good. Good for them. I'm right behind those two with a 99.1 because I'm a fucking idiot. I've missed 3 questions throughout the entire time I've been here. And it's been on quiz 2, I missed 1. Quiz 3, I missed 1. Quiz 4, I missed 1. But let's see, I'm 25 minutes into recording here. Probably going to be 15-minute video if I had to guess. But I'm going to make sure there's less for me to edit. So, get out of here. If you're planning on coming down here, prepare to work. Okay. I think I said something similar last week, but just keep up the grind, and I feel pretty decent. So, see ya.